everyone, welcome to today's math class on online math hub. And so today we have these Polish mathematical Olympiad problems in front of us to actually solve, and it's just pretty simple how we are going to be solving it. So what you just need to do is just make sure you stick with me until the end of the video. We are going to be doing it together, and you can see that this is just very simple to solve. But just before we delve into solving the question, if you are new to our channel, kindly give this video a thumb up, subscribe to our channel, and also turn on the notification icon for more updates, so that whenever we release new content, you will actually get to know more about it. And of course, you get a personal notification and you go ahead and check it out. So having done all of those things, we are just going to proceed to solving this problem. So we start by writing our solution and then repeating the question. Okay, so let me just rewrite the question. Okay, now the next thing you want to actually do is let us set these items inside brackets. Let us set it to be something. So let's set our x minus 1 to be equal to u, and of course if that happens, it now implies that our x is going to be equal to u plus 1. Okay, and then let's say set, and then we set our y, this one, y minus 1 to be equal to v, and that will give us that our y itself is equal to v plus 1. So this is what we have, and then we are going to be substituting it right on the question. Okay, so let's name this equation 1 in case we want to make reference to it. So putting in equation 1, so if we put it there, we have that our x is u plus 1, and then we put it in a squared right there. Okay, so multiplied by this is v, so let's put our v here. Okay, plus our y is v plus 1, so it is squared here, and then this one is u. Okay, and it's equal to 1. Now what do we do next? We could just go ahead to simplify. So if we simplify this, we are going to be having that u plus 1. So we just split it, u plus 1, and this is v plus this one, v plus 1. Okay, since it's squared, we just split it like this. Okay, all multiplied by u is equal to 1. So what do we do next? We just open this bracket. So let's just multiply 2 first, and then we multiply the other one. So this time this will give us u squared. Okay, and then this time this will give us u plus u. This time this will also give us another u, and then 1 times 1 will give us 1. Don't forget this is also multiplied by v plus, let's also open this one. So this is going to give us v squared plus v times 1 will give us v, plus v, 1 times v will also give us another v, plus 1 times 1 will give us 1. Don't forget it's also multiplied by u, and it's equal to 1. So what do we do next? We just use this v to multiply the bracket now, and then we use this u to also multiply this same bracket. So let's go. So this is u squared times v plus uv. Okay, so this is uv plus this uv2 plus v times 1 will give us v. And then let's also simplify this one further. So this is v, this is u v squared plus u times v will also give us uv, plus u times v will also give us uv, and then plus u times 1 will give us u, and it's all equal to 1. Okay, so you can see that this uv is appearing to us, so we can just add it up. So we now have u squared v plus 2uv plus v. Okay, and then let's also add this one up right here. So we have uv squared plus uv plus uv will give us 2uv. So that's what we have, and then plus u, and that's going to give us 1. Okay, so this is our margin, and then of course we have 1 right there. So at this point, what are we going to do next? We just continue by collecting like terms. So you can see u squared and then u squared v, and then u v squared. So what we'll just do, we just try to bring together those ones that has uv. Okay, now if you look at this is u v plus, so let me just bring this one closer, u v squared, and then plus, now let me just put this one together. This is 4 uv plus, and then I will write the other one, u plus v, and it's equal to 1. Okay, now what do we do again? We just put it, we just collect, or rather we just factorize right here. Okay, so you can see that uv is common here and it's also common here. So what we are going to do is we factorize uv, so uv out. So let's factorize here. We factorize it. If we bring out uv here, what is going to remain is u plus, if we bring out uv here, v will remain. Okay, and then if we bring out, okay, so let's write this one, 4 uv, okay, plus, and then we have the other one, u plus v, okay, u plus v, and it's equal to 1. So what do we do next? From this point, we are just going to do some manipulations here. So since we want to also add this one to this place, so that we now have u v, you can see that this is looking the same as this, but then we want to add this one to this, and then we'll find a way to also add the same factor to the other bracket. So let's simplify this one further. So we have u plus v, and then we also bring out this uv here. So let's add this 4 to this bracket, plus we now have uv, okay, u plus v, and it's equal to 1. So what we are going to do now is we want to add 4 to both sides of the equation. Okay, so if that happens, we have uv, u plus v plus 4 plus u plus v plus, this is the 4 we are adding to this side of the equation, and then we also add 4 to the other side of the equation. So if we continue, you can see that they are now looking the same. So since these brackets are the same, we just pick 1. So uv plus the coefficient of this bracket, which is 1, and then we pick one bracket, u plus v plus 4. Okay, and it's equal to 1 plus 4 is actually 5. So this is what we have, and if these two factors holds, if this factor multiplied by this factor gives us 5, then there are 4 cases that will happen. So let's consider case A. Case A, it is either u, okay, so it's either u v plus 1 will be equal to 5, and then u plus v plus 4 will be equal to 1. Okay, so that you now have 5 times 1 will still give us 5. So if they multiply themselves, it also gives us the other one. And then case 2, we have, let me just name it B. The second thing that will happen is that u v plus 1 can either be 1, and then u plus v plus 4 will be equal to 5. This is the second case. And then case C that will happen is either u v plus 1 will be equal to minus 5, and then u plus v plus 4 will be equal to minus 1. And of course, if this times this, it's going to give us minus 5 times minus 1, which will also give us 5. And then case D that will happen is that u v plus 1 will be equal to minus 1, and then u plus v plus 4 will give us minus 5. And of course, it's still very much the same right there. So we want to find out which of these solutions hold. Some of them does not actually have any solution. So I'm not going to bother you with those ones that does not have any solution. You can go ahead and check it out, and then we are just going to solve the two among these cases that has a solution, and then from those two cases we can generate our solution set, which is actually going to satisfy this equation number 1. The two that has solution here is actually this B and also this C. So we are just going to concentrate and then solve this B and C. So you can also confirm, you can also proceed to solve A and B, discover that you're not going to be getting any solution from there. So but we are going to solve this B and C, and then we get the solution to this equation right here. So I'm just going to go ahead to clean. So let me underline here. Okay, so b says that uv plus 1 is equal to 1. So let's name this equation 1, and then the other one, u plus v plus 4 is equal to 5, and then let's name this equation 2. So we are going to solve these two equations to find out the values of uv, to find out the values of v and the u. So what we do is from equation 1, we have that uv is equal to, so we want to bring this one here, 1 minus 1, which is equal to 0. So our uv is equal to 0. Okay, and then from equation 2 right here, we have that our u plus v is equal to 5 minus 4, which is equal to 1. So our u plus v is equal to 1. So what we are going to do is, you know that if a product of two numbers is equal to 0, either of the numbers can actually be equal to 0. So what we do is, so let's name this one our equation 3. So from equation 3, if u is equal to 0, then if you name this one equation 4, so we are going to substitute u in equation 4 to get our v. So if u is equal to 0, then our v will be equal to, it will be equal to 1. Okay, and then if v is equal to 0, then our u, that is from equation 4, will be equal to 1. So the solution we are getting from here, hence the solution. Okay, so the solution we are getting from this case B is that when our u is equal to 0, our v is equal to 1, and then when our u is equal to 1, our v will be equal to 0. So that's what we have. That's the solution we have if this case B holds. And then for case C, we also have that our uv plus 1 is equal to minus 5, and then so let us name this equation 5. Okay, and then our u plus v plus 4 is equal to minus 1. So let's name this equation 6. Okay, now what are we going to do next? Here we just, from equation 5, we have that our uv is equal to minus 5 minus 1, and that's going to give us what? We are going to have that our uv is equal to minus 6. So we can name this equation, let's name this equation 7. Okay, and then from our equation 6, now we have that our u plus v is equal to minus 1 minus 4. Okay, and of course this now implies that our u plus v is equal to minus 5. Okay, so this is what we have. We can name this equation 8. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to solve equation 7 and equation 8 to obtain the values of v and u. Okay, so what we are just going to do is from equation 8 here, we just make you the substitute formula, and then we substitute it in equation 6, in equation 7 right here, for us to get the value of u. Okay, now we say from equation 8, our u from equation 8, our u will be equal to minus 5 minus 7. Okay, now put u equals minus 5 minus v in equation 7 right here in equation 7. So if we put it right there, we have that minus 5 minus v all multiplied by v is equal to minus 6. So what are we going to do next? We just multiply it through. So we are going to be having minus 5v minus v squared is equal to minus 6. Okay, so this is what we have. And then of course we can take these ones to the other side, or we just multiply it through by minus so that we now have a quadratic equation. Doing that, we are just going to be having that if we bring this one to this side, we are going to be having minus 5v, okay, or rather minus v squared minus 5v plus 6 is equal to 0. So we can now divide through or multiply through by minus, and of course if we do that, we are going to be having v squared minus 5v plus 6, or rather v squared plus 5v minus 6 equal to 0. So what we are going to do now, this is a quadratic equation which we can use any of the method of solving a quadratic equation to solve. Okay, so this is the quadratic equation, and we can just simplify right there, or we can just factorize right there. Okay, factorizing, we have that this v plus, so splitting this, what we are going to be having is minus v plus 6v minus v plus 6v is actually going to give us 5v, and then minus 6 is equal to 0. So we factorize for that. So v comes out here, we have v minus 1 plus 6 is common here, we'll bring it out, v minus 1, and it's equal to 0. So what we are going to be having here is v plus 6, okay, and then v minus 1. We pick one of these items in the bracket is equal to 0. And if this happens right here, the product of these two factors is equal to 0. So we have that our v is equal to either minus 6 or 1. So this is what we have, and we've gotten the values of v right here. So we can continue right here. We are going to be substituting the value of v in this equation for us to also get u. Put v in u equals minus 5 minus v to get the value of u. Okay, so when v is equal to minus 6, our u will now be equal to minus 5 minus 6, and that's going to give us, so this is plus 6 minus 5, and that's going to give us 1. Okay, so when v is equal to 1, we have that our u is equal to, so our u is actually going to give us 5 minus 1. Okay, and of course we are going to be having minus 6. Okay, so that's what we have. So hence the solution. So let me clean here too. Hence the solution. So we are from these cases, we are having this solution that when our u is equal to 1, our v is minus 6, 1 comma minus 6, and then when our u is equal to minus 6, our v is equal to 1. Okay, so that's what we have. So the final solution, therefore the final result becomes, don't forget our x comma y, we said is actually, we set it to be u plus v. Our x is u plus v, comma our y is v plus 1. Okay, so what we are going to be having now, if we go to our first solution, which is actually here, that our u is equal to 0 and the v is equal to, so when our u is equal to 0, our this x now becomes 1 comma, and then v 1, we also have 1 plus 1, which is 2. Okay, and then for this second solution, our u is equal to 1, so which is 2, and our v is 0, and then our y becomes 0. And then for this second result right here, when our u is equal to 1, we have this bracket, you have this value here to be equal to 2, and our v is minus 6, so minus 6 plus this will give us minus 5. Okay, and then finally, for when u is equal to minus 6 plus 1 will give us minus 5. And then for this one, our v is equal to 1. 1 plus 1 will give us 2. So this is going to be the final result. That is the final answer for our values of x and y. So you can take any of these solution, whether 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, minus 5 or minus 5, 2. You can use any of these solution to put in this expression right here. You can actually see that it's satisfied. So let me just pick one and then confirm that it's satisfied. You can actually go ahead and then confirm other ones. So we are checking on this little box right here. So let's just pick the first one for our x1. So we have 1 squared into, okay, so this is what we are checking. This is our original equation, which is also same as this. Okay, and then our y is 2, so this is 2 minus 1. Okay, plus our y is 2, that is 2 squared, and then our x is 1 minus 1, and this should give us 1. So you see, 1 squared is 1 times 2 minus 1 is 1, plus this is 4 times 0, and of course you see that this is gone. 1 is equal to 1. So like I said, these all satisfy this equation. You can choose any of them and check whether it's satisfied here. You can actually see that it is all satisfied. So that is where we are going to be wrapping it up. If you have any question, if you are confused at any point, you can actually go over it again and then understand how we are able to solve it. And of course, you can also go ahead and find out some other questions like this and then use this same method we have actually used to solve this equation. You can actually see that you keep getting your you are going to keep getting your correct answers. Okay, and of course, do well to make sure you give this video a thumb up, subscribe to our channel, and also turn on the notification icon for more updates. And of course, I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye.